Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy WisdomB, and I am giving my initial impressions on Paladins. I already put in a day and a couple of hours into the game, um, and I gotta say I'm super happy for this game. What reason why you guys know that I used to play Overwatch very consistently. I always used to do a lot of content as far as competitive and stuff like that. And you must be like, why do you not play Overwatch but you want to play a game like this, which is basically almost Overwatch? It's not. It kind of is, but it's kind of its own twist on what they wanted to do for Overwatch, I guess, on the hero-based system. So I'm gonna give my initial impressions to tell you guys why I kind of like this game. Um, as for what it is, and I mean it's a free-to-play game. So let's get right in. Um, so number one, I think my number one thing is that it doesn't feel like Overwatch, even though it has game modes that are very reminiscent to Overwatch. It's just the core gameplay of it is a lot more different than how Overwatch plays. Now, it's very similar aspects to it, but the core gameplay for me, I think, is what's really cool about it. Um, it's just the damage that you output in this game, and as far as you can die very quick in this game, even though you may have 2,000 health, depending on which character, 3,000, 4,000. I think the initial core gameplay of teaming up with your allies and being able to play with all these different characters that has all these unique different abilities, which brings me into my number two overall, the heroes and how they play, which is practically like number one overall, gameplay, but it kind of ties in. Number two, really what it is that when I came into this game, I was expecting it to be like Overwatch. Well, not really, because a lot of these characters may kind of look like reskins of some of the characters, or may have weapons that may kind of feel like Overwatch, but they all have abilities that are insanely completely different compared to Overwatch. And all these characters feel so grand, so unique, feel so rich with the abilities and weapons and ultimates that they have. And some of them have some really visually and some really good damaging, just really good beneficially, just really amazing ultimates and abilities that just are amazing to want to play this game, just because all these abilities, all these characters have these amazing unique abilities that are all just so great, and each character has a role in this game, and each character may not be as strong as another, which brings me into number three. I have to talk about balance on the most side for it being in beta right now, and I mean it's been playable since I believe 2015, this game, as far as on PC side. I know that closed beta was available earlier, I believe, of this year. You're able to get into Paladins, or last year or something like that, for consoles. Had an invitation, didn't play it. Wasn't too intrigued, just because everybody said it looked like Overwatch, and it kind of does, but it doesn't. And it's just this really good feeling of playing this game. The overall the balance of all these characters really does feel really tweaked. It feels very defined, and felt like what these developers were going for was for the most part really good. And then if we get into more or less my number four reason why I really like this game, it's more or less the customization and depth that Overwatch does not have. Now, I know Overwatch is Overwatch, and it will not have, what Paladins have, but it feels like a mix, really, overall of, um, as far as customization, you can get, you know, cosmetics. Obviously, you have to pay for that though. Depending, it just depends. You can earn your way and get some cosmetics, but it takes a lot longer. Obviously, you have to grind your way. Um, but the customization, as you've seen earlier throughout the video, you see there's a lot of there's a card system that plays into the game, and then eventually you're going to see later on in this video there is an item shop as well, and there adds that further layer of customization to each and every character, as far as how you want to go from damage to healing to defense to like skill cooldowns, and how fast the movement speed you want to go. There's a lot of customization in the game, which I'm really happy with and profound. And this character right here is I have a really nice build for him, where he's able to, these bombs that he throw out, which is his primary weapons, he's able, every time he detonates, he's able to heal about 60 HP every bomb that he heals for a maximum of one clip. Or for 6 bombs, he heals for 300 and I believe 40 or 360 HP every 6 bombs that he detonate, which is really nice. And each build, I mean, you could change it around and do a different build, and you can tweak the builds and how you want to play the characters and stuff like that. And that's what I really like as my uh, number 4. So, and number 5 to top it all off, it has to come down to overall, I think. And I know it is number 4 is my balance, but number 5 I have to say the visual art and the visuals of the game. I think visuals of this game really looks very nice and clean and polished for it being in closed, or not really closed beta, but open beta. Um, and it looks really, just really the concept art and just the art of the game just looks like a really pretty game. Um, the fire from the environments to the maps, everything looks really nice, and the game presents itself very well as far as the world itself. I really like the maps a lot. They look very pleasing, and that's my number 5. Just the world. I'm not gonna get too much into it. It looks really nice as far as maps and abilities and ultimates and everything. Just the visual arts of everything looks really nice and colorful and very cartoony like, and it just looks like it just has that really good vibe, cartoony feel. So that's what I really like about it. A lot of people could say Overwatch has that same thing, kind of, but a lot of people say that they don't really like it either. So I mean, it's all up to perspective and opinion and stuff like that. Um, you see this guy's ultimate is, some will say it's like Junkrat. He forms into this ball and then he explodes, but as he throws out a ball, or a bomb, he is the bomb at that point, and he goes wherever he explodes. That's where he pops up and he stuns enemies and stuff like that. So it's really cool. Some of the abilities that these characters have. So, and then I'm gonna go into my number 6, teamwork. Teamwork I left for kind of last just because it's this game does require a lot of teamwork, and a lot of the things that I announce as far as my top uh, things that I like about this game, more or less is kind of my same things that I have for Overwatch. But there's something about the game that I think that I have to get more playtime with, is to really let you guys know how I feel about it. It's just, there's something about the game that feels very different, and I think what it is that got me playing more into this game is more or less the customization and the cards. And I know I did talk about that earlier, but something about that customization and that depth really just adds on to why I would play this game a little bit more over Overwatch. And as far as you guys were told earlier, there is custom games. There is you can do custom games. You can play in different. You can select the regions that you want to play in. There's just so much things that you can do in this game. You can get there's even competitive in this game. And a lot of people say it's a reskin version or a different kind of twist to Overwatch. In my opinion, yeah, it is. But it has its own really brand. The developers Hi-Rez, they really put the brand and their twist to make the game what it is, and it is Paladins. Characters are amazing. Really, just the depth, I think, is what drives me as far as customization and actually playstyle of how you can switch up characters, and they don't play just one way. Yeah, and I'm not saying they're gonna play completely different, but you can change up the playstyle to your likings for each character, and with the items that you can buy, does kind of give that MOBA feel as well. And there's a lot of strategicness when you go for these items that you have to purchase, and as far as that depth, I think is what really grabs me. If you guys want to know why I really like playing this game a lot, and what I prefer more or less about this game than Overwatch, is that customization, and I love it. You know, I love the game for what it is. It has a lot of customization and depth to the characters, whereas Overwatch, you play them the way that they're meant to be played, how the developers made them. So that's my spiel and my impressions on the game. Really love it a lot. I've put, like I said, a lot of hours into the game. Having lots of fun just playing on my own solo, really. And I have some friends I'm going to be playing with soon, so I'll be doing some more content on this game. So I'm gonna wrap it up on that. So if you guys want to see more content from Paladins, let me know in the comments below, or just leave a thumbs up and let me know. It lets me know that you guys want to see more content coming from Paladins. And like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Leave a thumbs up, and if you want, and subscribe to see more content coming from me.
Whoop, whoop.